Let me ask you something. What if everything you've been through, all the struggles, all the heartbreak, all the failures, what if none of it was meant to break you but to build you? What if the pain you've endured isn't a burden, but the very fuel that's going to drive you to the life you were meant to live? See, most people run from pain. They try to numb it, avoid it, pretend it never happened. But the truth is, pain is power if you use it the right way. The most successful people in the world didn't get there because life was easy for them. They got there because they took their pain and turned it into something greater. They didn't let it define them. They used it to push themselves beyond what they ever thought possible. Because here's the reality. You can either let pain destroy you or you can let it drive you. You can let it be your excuse or you can let it be your motivation. The choice is yours. But one thing is certain, pain will come. Struggle is inevitable. Life will test you. And when it does, you have two options. You can let it beat you down or you can rise up and say, this will not break me. This will make me stronger. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most pain. Maybe it was rejection, maybe it was failure, maybe it was losing someone you loved. Those moments cut deep, but they also forced you to grow, to see what you're truly capable of, to dig deeper than you ever thought you could. That pain shaped you. It forged you into who you are today. And if you let it, it will be the very thing that sets you apart, that makes you unstoppable. So stop running from your pain. Stop seeing it as a weakness. Start seeing it as the gift that it is. Because within your greatest struggles lies your greatest strength. The question is, will you use it? Will you harness it? Will you turn it into the fire that propels you forward, or will you let it hold you back? The choice is yours. But I promise you this, your pain is your power. Use it, and there's nothing you can't achieve. Pain is something we all experience. It's inevitable. But what separates those who stay stuck in suffering from those who rise above and create extraordinary lives is the meaning they attach to their pain. Most people run from it. They try to bury it, avoid it, or pretend it never happened. But the truth is, pain is one of the most powerful forces for transformation if you know how to use it. If you learn to shift your perspective, to stop seeing pain as something that's happening to you and instead see it as something that's happening for you, then you unlock a level of strength and resilience most people never tap into. Your pain can be your power. It can be the fire that fuels you, the force that drives you, the foundation upon which you build the life you were meant to live. Think about it. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every champion, every game changer in history has faced pain. They've struggled, they've failed, they've been knocked down. But they didn't stay down. They used that pain as leverage. They took their hardships and turned them into a mission, into fuel, to push harder, to be better, to grow beyond their limits. They understood that pain isn't the enemy. It's a teacher. It's a guide. It's a gift wrapped in disguise, showing you exactly what you need to work on, where you need to grow, and what you're truly capable of when pushed to your limits. There's a part of you that already knows this. There's a part of you that has felt pain and thought, I don't ever want to feel this way again. And because of that, you made a change. You took action. You shifted something in your life. That's the power of pain. It forces action. It demands growth. It pushes you to evolve. The problem is most people resist it. They numb it with distractions, with entertainment, with food, with social media, with anything that helps them escape. But escaping your pain doesn't eliminate it. It only prolongs it. You carry it with you in your body, in your emotions, in your mind, until you decide to face it head on and use it as a stepping stone instead of a roadblock. Your pain has shaped you. It has given you depth, insight, and strength. The struggles you've endured have built your character. They've given you empathy, wisdom, and perspective. Without those challenges, without those moments of suffering, you wouldn't be who you are today. And that's why your pain is your power. It has given you something unique, a story, an experience, a lesson that can not only transform your own life, but also impact the lives of those around you. Some of the most influential people in the world were once broken. They were rejected, abandoned, betrayed, or pushed to the edge. But instead of letting that break them, they allowed it to forge them into something greater. Oprah Winfrey suffered abuse and poverty, yet she became one of the most powerful voices in media. Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment and injustice, yet he emerged as a leader who united a nation. TonyRobbins himself grew up in hardship, in a home where love and certainty weren't guaranteed, yet he used that pain to fuel his mission of helping millions transform their lives. What do these people have in common? They refuse to let pain define them. They refuse to let their past dictate their future. They took control. They made a decision. They harnessed their pain and turned it into purpose. And you can do the same. Whatever pain you're carrying, whatever past you've endured, it doesn't have to be a weight that holds you down. It can be a force that propels you forward. But that shift starts with a decision to stop seeing yourself as the victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of your destiny. A decision to let go of resentment, blame, and self-pity, and instead focus on what you can control, on what you can build, on what you can create. Pain can give you clarity. It can show you what truly matters. It can strip away all the distractions, all the noise, all the meaningless pursuits, and make you focus on what's real, on what's important. When you experience deep pain, whether it's heartbreak, failure, loss, or rejection, it shakes you, it wakes you up, it reminds you of your own mortality. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it rebuild you into something even stronger. The problem is, most people are afraid of pain. They see it as something to be avoided at all costs. But pain is inevitable. Suffering, however, is a choice. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't the absence of pain, it's how they respond to it. Those who use their pain as a source of strength find a way to turn every setback into a setup for a comeback. They don't let their circumstances define them. They don't let their wounds become their identity. Instead, they turn them into wisdom, into drive, into unshakable determination. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue carrying your pain as a burden, or you can transform it into a weapon for growth. You can use it to push yourself to new heights, to break through barriers, to achieve what once seemed impossible. The moment you shift your perspective on pain is the moment you unlock a new level of power within you. Your greatest breakthroughs will come from your greatest struggles. Your biggest moments of transformation will come from your darkest moments. When you hit rock bottom, when you feel like giving up, when you think there's no way forward, that's when you have the greatest opportunity for growth. Because in those moments, you're being forced to dig deep, to find a strength you never knew you had, to build resilience that will carry you forward for the rest of your life. So stop running from your pain. Stop seeing it as the enemy. Start seeing it as your greatest asset, your most valuable teacher, your hidden superpower. It's shaping you, refining you, preparing you for something greater. The only question is, are you willing to embrace it and use it to create the life you were meant to live? Your pain holds the key to your deepest transformation. It is not just an obstacle to overcome, but a gateway to unlocking your full potential. The way you handle pain, whether you let it define you or use it to fuel your growth, determines the course of your life. Pain, when embraced and understood, can be the most powerful catalyst for success. It forces you to break old patterns, develop resilience, and cultivate a new level of inner strength. Every moment of suffering carries a lesson, a message, and an opportunity to rise above what you once believed were your limits. The difference between those who thrive and those who remain stuck is their ability to turn their pain into power. Many people fear pain because they associate it with suffering, failure, or loss. But the truth is, pain is one of the greatest teachers life has to offer. It provides clarity, strips away illusions, and reveals what truly matters. If you look back at your life, you'll see that the most profound growth happened in the moments of the greatest struggle. Those moments shaped you, refined you, and prepared you for the next level of your journey. Without them, you would not be the person you are today. The key is to stop resisting pain and start learning from it. When you resist pain, you prolong it. When you embrace it, you transform it into wisdom, power, and purpose. Think about the most successful, influential, and inspiring individuals throughout history. They have all experienced profound pain. They have faced rejection, failure, heartbreak, and loss, but instead of allowing that pain to break them, they used it to fuel their drive. They found purpose in their suffering. They turned their pain into a mission to help others, to create something meaningful, and to become the best versions of themselves. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, enduring injustice and hardship, yet he emerged as a leader who changed the world. Oprah Winfrey survived a traumatic childhood and built a legacy that has touched millions of lives. TonyRobbins, who grew up in a home filled with uncertainty and struggle, turned his pain into a passion for helping others break through their limitations. These people did not allow pain to control them. They took control of their pain and used it as leverage. The problem is that most people numb their pain instead of using it. They escape through distractions, addictions, or avoidance. They suppress their emotions, bury their struggles, and pretend everything is fine. But pain doesn't disappear when ignored. It lingers, festers, and manifests in different ways. It affects relationships, careers, health, and overall well-being. The only way to truly break free is to confront pain directly, to acknowledge it, to understand its message, and to channel it into something greater. Your pain is trying to tell you something. It is showing you where you need to grow, what needs to change, and what is holding you back. Instead of seeing it as a curse, see it as a signpost guiding you toward a better future. Every struggle, every setback, every heartache carries a lesson. If you choose to learn from it, you gain wisdom, resilience, and an unstoppable mindset. If you choose to ignore it, you stay stuck in a cycle of repeating the same patterns, making the same mistakes, and feeling the same frustrations. Pain has the power to ignite transformation like nothing else. It shakes you awake, forces you out of complacency, and demands that you evolve. Without pain, there is no urgency to change. Comfort breeds stagnation, while discomfort propels growth. When you experience pain, it signals that something needs to shift. It is an invitation to break free from limitations, step into your strength, and create a new reality. But this only happens if you are willing to face it, process it, and channel it into action. Some of the most successful people in the world attribute their drive to their pain. They use their past struggles as fuel to push harder, work smarter, and achieve more. They refuse to be victims of their circumstances. They take ownership of their stories, rewrite their narratives, and turn their pain into power. This is the mindset that separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. The way you handle pain is a choice. You can let it define you, hold you back, and make you bitter, or you can use it to refine you, strengthen you, and make you better. The moment you decide to use pain instead of being used by it is the moment you take control of your life. That is when you shift from being a victim of circumstances to the creator of your destiny. When you experience pain, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to grow? What strengths am I developing through this struggle? Instead of focusing on why something happened to you, focus on how you can turn it into something meaningful. The people who make the biggest impact in the world are those who have turned their deepest pain into Your pain is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. It is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. The more challenges you face, the stronger you become. The more setbacks you experience, the more wisdom you gain. The more you embrace pain, the more unstoppable you become. Most people wait for life to be easy before they take action, but the truth is life will never be without challenges. There will always be obstacles, struggles, and moments of pain, but those moments are not there to stop you. They are there to strengthen you. They are opportunities to rise, to grow, and to create a life that is truly. If you are struggling right now, know that this pain is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter. The struggles you face today are preparing you for the successes of tomorrow. Every challenge, every hardship, every moment of suffering is sculpting you into the person who can handle the success, abundance, and fulfillment that is waiting for you on the other side. The greatest breakthroughs come from the greatest struggles. The most powerful transformations come from the deepest pain. Your pain is your power if you choose to use it. Pain often feels like an uninvited guest in our lives, something we want to push away, escape from, or numb. But what if pain wasn't the enemy? What if, instead of seeing pain as something that happens to you, you started seeing it as something happening for you? This shift in perspective is the key to unlocking the immense power hidden within your struggles. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has faced pain. But what separates them from those who stay stuck is their ability to turn that pain into fuel. Pain can be your prison, keeping you trapped in fear, doubt, and resentment. Or it can be your power, propelling you forward with a new level of strength, wisdom, and purpose. The choice is yours, and the way you respond to pain will determine the direction of your life. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers, but only if you are willing to listen. Every painful experience carries a lesson, a message about who you are, what you need to grow, and where you need to shift. But most people resist pain. They distract themselves, numb their emotions, or try to ignore it. They bury their struggles under work, relationships, social media, or unhealthy habits, hoping that if they don't acknowledge it, it will eventually disappear. But pain doesn't just go away. When you suppress pain, it festers beneath the surface, manifesting in anxiety, depression, self-doubt, or self-sabotage. The only way to truly break free is to face your pain, understand it, and use it to transform yourself into the person you were meant to be. Some of the most extraordinary people in history have turned their pain into their purpose. Oprah Winfrey endured an incredibly painful childhood filled with trauma, but instead of allowing her past to define her, she used her experiences to fuel her journey toward becoming one of the most influential voices in the world. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, facing isolation and injustice. Yet he emerged with a renewed commitment to change the world. These individuals didn't avoid pain. They confronted it, learned from it, and used it to create something bigger than themselves. The difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is not the presence or absence of pain. It is how they choose to respond to it. Pain has the power to reveal who you really are. In moments of struggle, you discover your true character. Do you break down and give up, or do you rise and push forward? Do you let pain define you, or do you use it to redefine yourself? These are the moments where you get to decide what kind of person you are becoming. Pain strips away the illusions, the excuses, and the masks we wear. It forces us to confront our deepest fears, our limiting beliefs, and the stories we've been telling ourselves. It gives us an opportunity to rewrite our narrative, to take control, and to create a new path forward. Most people live their lives avoiding pain, which means they are also avoiding growth. They stay in comfort zones, settled for mediocrity, and convince themselves that things are good enough. But the truth is, real growth only happens when you step into discomfort. Pain is the gateway to transformation, but only if you allow it to be. If you avoid pain, you avoid progress. If you numb pain, you numb your potential. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who embraced pain, learned from it, and used it as leverage. One of the most powerful things you can do is change your relationship with pain. Instead of seeing it as something to be feared, see it as a tool. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Every struggle contains a lesson, but you have to be willing to look for it. Maybe your pain is teaching you resilience. Maybe it's showing you that you are strong, building a path you never would have considered. Maybe it's pushing you toward a new level of personal power that you never would have accessed otherwise. The most successful people don't just survive pain, they harness it. They use it to build discipline, focus, and unshakable drive. They take their struggles and turn them into stepping stones. They refuse to let pain make them bitter. Instead, they let it make them better. When you shift your mindset from seeing pain as an enemy to seeing it as an ally, everything changes. You stop running from challenges and start facing them head on. You stop waiting for things to get easier and start making yourself stronger. Think about the last time you went through something painful. Maybe it was a setback in your career, a betrayal in a relationship, or a personal failure that made you question yourself. In that moment, it probably felt like the end of the world. But look at where you are now. You survived, you grew, you learned, and if you truly reflect on it, you'll probably realize that you came out of that experience stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. That's the power of pain. It forges you into the person you were meant to be. Your pain is your story, but it doesn't have to be your identity. Too many people allow their pain to define them. They replay their past over and over, holding on to resentment, regret, or self-pity. But pain is not meant to be a permanent state. It is meant to be a process. It is meant to push you toward healing, growth, and a higher level of purpose. The moment you stop seeing pain as something that is happening to you and start seeing it as something that is happening for you, you take back control. What if, instead of trying to escape your pain, you started using it? What if you turned every setback into an opportunity? What if you stopped waiting for things to get better and started becoming the person who makes things better? That is the mindset that creates success. That is the perspective that leads to transformation. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering happens when you resist pain, when you cling to the past, or when you allow challenges to break you instead of build you. But when you embrace pain, when you see it as an opportunity, you gain the ability to turn any struggle into strength. Right now, there is someone in the world who has gone through exactly what you're going through, and they have used it to create an extraordinary life. There are people who have faced unimaginable challenges, yet they have emerged stronger, more determined, and more successful than ever. The only difference between them and the people who stay stuck is how they chose to respond to their pain. You have that same power. You have the ability to take everything that has happened to you, all the struggles, the losses, the heartbreaks, and turn it into something powerful. You have the ability to transform your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength, and your past into a story of victory. It all starts with one decision: to stop running from pain and start using it. Your pain is not just an obstacle. It is a powerful source of strength that can propel you to greatness. Every setback, every hardship, every moment of struggle contains within it the potential for transformation. The greatest leaders, the most successful people in history, have all faced adversity, but they refuse to let it break them. Instead, they use their pain as fuel, as a catalyst to push them forward. Pain creates resilience. It forces you to dig deeper, to find a strength within yourself that you never knew existed. When you embrace your pain instead of running from it, you gain control over your life. The key is to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how is this happening for me? This simple shift changes everything. It puts you in a position of power rather than victimhood. The pain you've experienced is an asset. It teaches you lessons that no book or mentor ever could. It shows you what you are truly capable of. You have survived everything that has come your way so far, and that is proof that you are stronger than you think. Look at the most successful athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and leaders. They have all endured immense pain in one form or another. Whether it's rejection, failure, loss, or hardship, they turned their struggles into stepping stones. They allowed their pain to shape them, to sharpen them, to refine them into the people they were meant to become. Your pain has given you a story. It has given you wisdom, experience, and the ability to empathize with others who are going through similar struggles. This is a gift. When you use your pain to help others, to inspire, to lead, you turn something that was once a burden into a source of light. Think about the times in your life when you faced your greatest challenges. Those moments defined you. They built your character. They gave you the grit and determination to keep moving forward. Pain is a test.